If you ever worked with AI chatbots before, you probably ran into the issue that the AI prompt that you use within your chatbot returns something either in a different format or a little bit different from what you actually expect. And then often, instead of re-engineering the prompt, you just add an extra sentence that says something like, do not do this or do not do that. Do not add any kind of brackets or don't wrap it in that. While this works in some cases, it's usually not a good practice to do. In today's video, I'm going to tell you more of what I call negative prompting for text AIs. And I say that specifically like that because it's not based on what you see for image-based AIs like Midjourney, which also offer negative prompting, which basically just relates to having a keyword not appear within the prompt or in the final result. No, the text-based negative prompting refers to you add something what the AI should not do. And the reason why this is so bad to do is because you give it extra context that gives it a percentage to actually use it just because you define it. You can see that on the following example very well. Let's say my prompt returns some kind of smileys within the text, which I don't want because I asked it something to make it conversational or whatever. But instead I just want to have the text. You might say something like, do not add smileys, which can work in a lot of cases if the AI is smart enough. In some cases, it can add smileys just because you mentioned that, because it has this specific token smiley. To avoid those kind of things, you can just re-question that and just tell it something like, only write text-based text or only write simple text. And that has a higher chance of actually solving your problems instead of causing a new one. I've seen that a lot in prompt engineering for more complex tasks where you kind of send over a history to a chat completion, and this returns you results that you haven't even expected just because you define a negative prompt. Another example is you should always focus on including positive alternatives instead. Here's another example. You can, for example, say, instead of write with less business jargon, you can write it conversational. This little difference doesn't tell the AI anything about business jargon in the first place because this is not what you want, but you tell it that it should be conversational, which again makes the AI believe or makes the AI direct into some different spaces for the information, or it will cause the AI to return different information that is probably more relevant than when you define a negative keyword. Use that in your prompts, try it out, and I'm pretty sure you will get a better answer from your AI. Your customers will be more happy, you will be more happy, you spend less time debugging, figuring out what is the problem if you just don't define any negative prompting. I hope this video was helpful for you, and if you have any further questions, feel free to comment it below, and otherwise I'll see you in the next one.